All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Commissioner Dinger, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Next item on the agenda is to approve our agenda.
Move.
Motion by Weiss, second by Denner. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This time we'll open the meeting up for any public comments. Anyone wish to address the commission this morning?
I do.
Good morning.
Morning, Lynn.
Good morning, Mike. How are you? I had to write it down because otherwise I would have taken all of everybody's public comment time, so. Good morning. My name is Lynn Brenn, and I'm the Executive Director of the South Dakota Public Insurance Alliance. Mike, gosh.
Slow down.
Yeah. We actually have the privilege of providing Brown County with your property and liability coverages. And I worked with the pool in some capacity almost as long as Mike has. Mr. Weiss has served on our pool of board of directors for 25 years this year. So, we decided that warranted at least a little token of our appreciation. So we do appreciate the work and sacrifice that each of you do, but today I just really want to come and recognize Mike for 25 years of service on the board. Now, 25 years is a long time to do anything, let alone volunteer for extra meetings, spontaneous calls from me, and pour over financial statements, audits, and engage in risk management talk. But Mike has done it all with consistency, patience, and steadfast endurance. He always tells me, at least I'm consistent. Yes, you are. He has been our chairman for the past 5 years, and while he's not the loudest guy in the room, I know that would surprise you, but he sits next to me at meetings. He's certainly the one that leads the group, asks the hard questions, and challenges all of us to be the best that we can be for the benefit of the SDPA. He's the kind of leader that doesn't just show up, he leans in. He really takes the time to understand the work and is encouraging new board members to do the same. He's been a mentor, a steady hand, and someone we've all learned from, whether he meant to teach us or not. So today I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your leadership and honesty, even if sometimes it's not what we always want to hear. On behalf of the SDPAA, it's my honor to present you with the 25 years of service award.
Thank you.
Yay!
Kate, we need a picture,
Yeah.
please.
I don't know why I'm crying.
It's been a long time.
All right, now.
Okay.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that's why my other redhead is here.
Yes. I'm just glad I had her number from.
Right.
Yes, so thank you so much.
Thanks for the recognition, I
Yes.
appreciate it.
No, it was, it's long overdue, so we appreciate everything.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the surprise.
Yeah. It really wasn't hard pulling off the surprise. I thought it would be more difficult, but, okay.
Well, thank you for representing counties on the CPAA.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else wish to address the commission this morning? On any topic that isn't on the agenda, online, on the phone? Seeing none, we will move on. Congratulations again, Mike. Next up, second reading, possible adoption of amended ordinance 302.
Yes. Ordinance number 302, an ordinance entitled An Amendment to Wind Energy Systems to the Brown County Title IV zoning ordinances by replacing Chapter 4.36, Wind Energy Systems, with the proposed changes, all adopted by Ordinance 302, as amended in Title IV zoning ordinance of Brown County, South Dakota.
All right, this ordinance has gone through a couple times with a fine-tooth comb. We think we have it in a good final form. So is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 302?
Hi, this is Michael calling from Invenergy. Can you hear me in the room?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you all so much. Commissioner Weiss, congratulations as well.
Thank you.
I just wanted to quickly jump in. I had the opportunity to touch base with Scott this morning, but I was reviewing the ordinance, and in looking through it, I saw in paragraph 2A there were some changes that were noted to have setbacks measured from property lines from the property line of a tower parcel to the property line of a non-participating residence parcel. And I knew we were doing some property line stuff from the on the noise front. And one of the things I was curious about is looking at this, the way it's currently written makes it very difficult for a developer on our end to cite the turbines and where they're going to be going. I have an example that I could share with you for your consideration in seeing if this is language you wanted to keep in the ordinance. I don't know if I'll have the ability to share or present on the screen. Is that something that can be done? Do you know?
That's a good question. Hold on, let us figure it out.
Hold on.
Hold on a minute, we're getting the auditor in here. Morning. Morning, Scott.
So she brings scones for my wife and they run off with them.
I noticed that. Talk them up, how good they are.
Celebrated, you don't get to celebrate, but they're celebrating.
That's right, exactly.
Morning.
Can I
Morning,
give
Carl?
you a late public comment when you're done with this part?
Yes.
All right, just, it's short.
You were late, Carl.
Hmm?
You were
I
late.
know, I couldn't help it.
Previous engagement.
I try hard. And I'm paid well for this, you know.
It's true. I'm sorry, Mike, what is in
About to put a public assurance alliance.
25 years?
Yep.
They insured us for 25 years.
Tried. Bit of a sketchy risk, but.
Joined just after high school.
Yeah.
That's right. The quarter century. Almost as long as I've been alive.
Goes by quick.
So if you live to be 100, that's 25% of your life.
Morning, Dirk.
How are you guys?
Good, and you?
Not too bad.
We're still working on it here, bear with us for a few minutes here.
Well, if nothing else, if it's not very extensive, you can actually put it up in front of the
Yeah.
camera and we can give it
Drop
a
this
full
is
screen.
Double D here.
Look at it.
Western store. Yeah, that's not too western, even I could pull that off, yeah. Oh, no, you can pull it off.
No.
Basically just share screen.
You just go share like right there. There it is.
I mean, there's a share screen on ours, but I don't know what it is.
Do you have a share screen option, Mike?
I do. It says to share, ask the organizer to make you a presenter.
Oh, so I have to click on him and make him a presenter.
Mike, go ahead and try it once and see what happens.
It's grayed out, and I don't have that ability.
Can you click on him?
Grayed out on his, I don't think we can.
You gotta go up to the top right and drop down menu and enable it or something. Way over, next one, maybe, settings. Back to the left, the settings one. Is that in there somehow? Camera screen up above. Keep going up. With your mouse. Up,
Down a little bit.
down, screen, down right.
Sorry, it says session.
That's it.
Try that. Oh, session. Alright. I would just have to hunt around and find it. Maybe it's under
Would it
camera.
be under his individual deal?
I was gonna say,
You
can
click
you go
on
into
his-
a-
just him?
Or if you click where it says 11 people. Okay, so there's Michael.
It's the 3 dots to the right of his name.
May present it there.
Ta-da.
There you go, Michael, try that.
All right, you've been made
Okay.
presenter, go ahead and try it.
Good luck.
All right, let's see. Let's try this.
Look at that.
There we go. Now, can we enlarge that?
Amazing. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think this will help be a good visual for the conversation. So, right now, the ordinance in 2A specifically, it modified the existing language to be from the tower to itself to a building that's non-participating, and it modified it to be from property lines. This is an example from one of our projects, Worthwhile Wind, from a few years back, where this has similarly been looked at. And each of these squares here is representing a 40-acre parcel. And what this illustrates is how a single 40-acre parcel that's non-participating has the ability, with only a 1,600-foot setback, to eliminate or essentially have this be unusable for development of a wind project, 378 acres in the surrounding area. So when you're looking at this is only 40 acres, this is a quarter section here. But the way the ordinance is currently written is it's 4 times tip height from the property lines. And if we estimate our turbines are 589 feet to tip height, that means that this setback would actually increase from 1,600 feet to 2,350 something feet. So it would be even larger than this. And I just want to share the visual impact of how, you know, a single 40-acre parcel can nearly 10 times have a 10 times impact in this area. And it makes it incredibly difficult, if not feasible, for us to be able to site projects, because it's very common that when we work on these projects that we have people who do want to participate voluntarily and those who don't. And it's not always as clean as this, where everything in green is participating and there's just a single person who doesn't want to participate. I'm hoping to just illustrate that it can be very challenging when you're trying to string together a project of the size that we need to with this setback. The one that was previously written, where it's from the tower to the building itself, that's been pretty standard in many of the ordinances that I've worked with personally and seen. But I just wanted to share this information with you so you can see from a development perspective how restrictive or non-restrictive some of the potential language could be.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Scott or Mike Gage, do you want to weigh in on how the conversation went? And if this makes sense?
How wide is that red square?
40 acres.
A quarter.
So 40 acres.
So that's
So
a
it's a 40-acre parcel.
40-acre parcel would be a
I thought he said a
quarter
quarter.
mile.
Quarter section, that'd be a half a mile.
So each square is 40 acres.
Quarter mile long. Quarter mile long.
Oh, over there, 40 acres.
So,
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's a quarter mile. It's 4 times the tip height or tip length, so that's over 3,000 feet.
That'd be a quarter mile.
So if you would change it back to the tower, the structure, instead of the property line, that's more the
Well, I know the
industry
reason we
standard.
went with that is consistently in every ordinance we have, it's always to
Yep.
the property line. With
Right.
everything else, and for consistency across.
Yep.
And when we have to defend it in court, it's easier if you're consistent
Yep.
for everything.
Michael,
one of the things is, yeah, go ahead.
just a quick question. An average wind tower that you have, is that approximately 400 feet tall?
I would say the common one is actually taller than that. It's about 589, the ones that we're consistently
Okay.
using, 589 feet to the tip height when the blade's in the full vertical position.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And this is just showing the 40-acre parcel. I know there's quite a few parcels that are a full quarter section, 160 acres. So that could even be compounded beyond that space if that single parcel is, full quarter section instead of just the 40.
How about the structure measured to the property line of the non-participating parcel? You measure from the wind tower structure to the property line rather than the wind tower to the house. Because it takes away their property usage when you're going structure to structure. Whereas if you just go from the structure of a participating wind tower to the property line, it's less distance than property line to property line. I mean, it gives them more flexibility, measuring from their actual structure to a property line of a non-participating.
So clarify for me, because I don't have it in front of me, excuse me, Mike, was the setback is computed tip height times 4? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So 590 feet is what he's saying his average is. 525, I think, is what.
So why the 4, I guess, is my question.
As far as the distance?
Right.
That's what a lot of the ordinances are on wind towers. The 4 times the height of it.
But they're not using from the
Property they're
line.
using the structure, right?
So one of them's
Well, that
Photo was times 2.
that Dawn that was in here, one of the things that she was stressing, if they're non-participating, they would want it further away than just measuring, to their house in the tower. That was all discussed, and that's kind of how we came up with the property line issue and being consistent, so, kind of, listening to both of them, if you went from the wind tower structure itself, measured to the property line of a residence, the distance that's required, would be less restrictive than measuring from property line to property line. Participating versus non-participating.
I do like the property line language, just because if you're participating, you do it. If you're non-participating, you obviously don't want it. So I do like that, because like where your house is versus where your property line is. I like the property line language personally, rather than the structure, and it adds consistency, like you said. So I do like at least leaving the property line language there.
What if we did 3 times the tipping height, Michael? Does that solve the problem, or am I not thinking about that right?
It changes the equation.
I still think that's challenging. Oftentimes, some of the parcels aren't, perfect squares, and, there's some oddly shaped parcels, and you can have, in this example, you could have a resident that's on the southeast corner, and there's nothing but open fields and, the ability to set a turbine here, but because of the setback over here from the property line, we're not able to really utilize that space. I know there's, some concerns about the non-participants being able to use their land, and we've done this for other projects in the past too, where if people are, let's say, planning to build a home site or somewhere on a parcel, and they can present us with, a site plan, and they have legitimate means to be able to do it and want to do it, then we can absolutely set back from a location that's not built, knowing that they're planning to do something in the future, and we can work with them on that. We're happy to do that kind of thing. One of the things, and is here as well, there's the protection of the rights of the people who don't want to participate in the project, and then also for those who do, this is impactful for them too, because this one parcel is essentially not allowing their neighbors to be able to participate in a project if they'd like to as well. That's at least how I'm kind of initially looking at some of this.
Yeah, so.
Go ahead, Mike.
So I'll say I agree 100% that is the debate that happens, is where do your rights as somebody that wants to participate and somebody that doesn't want to participate, where do each of their rights end up? And to me, I guess, and I know you guys are willing to work with them on that, but I mean, if I sat down and tried to figure out, I mean, if you say the life of a tower is 20 years, and I was gonna think about like a piece of ground that I have and what my 20-year plan was, it'd be a shot in the dark, because I don't know what's gonna be happening in the agricultural sector, you know, 5 years from now, whether it be 15. So I can't tell you if I'm gonna put a building there or not. So this was kind of to try to get a compromise where the people that are non-participating can still have access to their property and have a setback, whether they know ahead of time they're gonna build something there or not, and to not make it impossible. I'm not gonna say it's easy to cite everything that you guys want, but it's not impossible. I don't think there are that many people out there that are against the project, but, I mean, maybe there are, but I've just not heard from a lot of them. So I don't know if citing against non-participants would be impossible, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So this was, I mean, I don't know if, in my personal opinion, this was the compromise that we came to that I think I felt kind of helped everybody or hurt everybody equally, I guess, if you want to say the participants and the non-participants.
Yep.
Sorry.
Anything else? Scott, anything else to add?
No, I mean, I can change it any way you guys want in text, and,
Ross, you want to weigh in based on what you've heard?
If you look at 2C, we're already at 110% the height of the turbine from any property line. Now, that should be changed if they're both participating property owners, then you can be closer to the property line. But the point is, if the goal is to protect occupied structures, I don't see how you can get away from measuring from the structure.
Instead of the property line.
We already have one at the property line at
Right.
110%.
Yep.
So if there's a structure there, you leave it at 4, and then that shrinks the bubble, I think.
So does that require a change to the verbiage that we...
It would.
Okay. So we would change it to the structure instead of property line in that section. Michael, is that kind of what you're suggesting or recommending here?
Yeah, looking at this, 2C does cover a setback from property lines, and then 2A would be from buildings themselves, residences.
And then there's always the waiver option for people in there too.
right.
So if you have a minimum of 4 times the height of the turbine from an occupied structure, that could be waived. And then property owners who are worried about their farm that sits in the middle of the 40 acres, well, it'll be 4 times the height of the turbine or 110% from the property line, whichever is greater.
Four times from existing structure, 110% from property line of non-participating property owner.
I never liked the participating and non-participating language. I think you can just do away
We
with
didn't
that
start it.
altogether.
Okay.
If you're a participating landowner, getting a waiver shouldn't be that much trouble.
Right.
2C, that 110%, the way it's written, it looks like it's from any property line, which would work.
So is another change necessary, or are we okay?
I'd rather not do it on a napkin today.
Right. So,
So Michael, you've got a lot invested in this already, if just scenario here, if we remand this back to planning and zoning for reconsideration, you would participate in those conversations?
I think we
Yeah,
can just.
I'd like to get to,
It's not a
oh,
big
sorry, go ahead.
change.
So we postpone action on the second reading, possible adoption of this ordinance for today. Give Michael a chance to review with Scott.
Recommend changes and reconsider ourselves then?
Reconsider ourselves.
Instead of back to planning and zoning.
The motion.
Is everybody okay with that? We have a motion by Weiss to do exactly that. Postpone actions, send it back to Scott for further amending the language, and then bring it back to the commission for approval.
Further amending, if I may ask, structure to structure or wind tower structure to property line of non-participating?
I understand it's 110% property line and 4 times to existing structure.
Correct.
Is that where we're at?
That was closer to what we originally had than what we have now.
Is that your understanding, Michael?
110%.
Yes, it would be.
Is C or B.
Scott's been in touch with Michael, so we'll circulate emails and we'll.
For informational
Yeah.
purposes only.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage. Everybody understanding what we're doing? Further conversations will take place, and we'll get it further amended, and then back to the commission. We won't send it back to planning and zoning. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
Nay.
Motion carries. Okay, we have 1 nay. Motion passes. Michael, thank you for weighing in today. More
Thank
to
you,
come.
appreciate it.
You bet. More to come on the wind energy system ordinance.
Dwayne, did you say won't send it back to planning and zoning board?
No,
No.
it'll
Just
be amended
so
and come
Scott
back
can work
here,
on it.
yes.
Modified for our consideration.
All right, moving on. First, reading of the following ordinances.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, Carl, yes.
sneak in, sorry, excuse me.
You asked for permission, I apologize.
That's all right, that's all right. I'm sorry, I'm not in order. Basically, I wanted to let you know that we have some young citizens in Aberdeen doing a really good job, and I think it's important that we tell you guys about it. The Exchange Club of Aberdeen's been doing this for quite a while, but the Young Citizenship Award is the one that we give out to younger kids that demonstrate good citizenship both at school and home. These students have been chosen by their teachers and their counselors for demonstrating exemplary citizenship, great attitude, offering service to others, good leadership and sportsmanship. Not an award that they try for, it's something that they get because they're a reflection of their parents and their family and their teachers and their counselors and their coaches and everything like that. But the Young Citizen Awards announced were Aberdeen Roncalli Youth Citizen, Harrison Bode and Elizabeth Bain. Holgate Youth Citizen Award was Willa Vogel and Ma Auer. And then the Simmons Youth Citizenship Award went to Stella Dragsfeld and Wayne Nicolay. And then the Aberdeen Christian Citizenship Award went to Noah Fleece. So these are some really good kids. This is the younger group, but the Youth of the Month went to different people, and it's a little bit different because this is based on the students' involvement in activities such as student government, yearbook committee, musical organizations, debate, theater productions, athletics, community service, and other special achievements, including classroom performance. Also weighs heavily in the decision on this award. And the award recipients are able to have a chance for $600 in the Aberdeen area, and then $1,250 in the district, which is North and South Dakota, and then they go on to national and win, they could get $15,000. But the Youth of the Month award announced Aberdeen Central Youth of the Month was Hannah Anderson, and the Aberdeen Roncalli Youth of the Month was Claire Crawford, and the Aberdeen Christian Youth of the Month was Izzy Helm, and I can tell you for sure that the parents were really proud that day when they got those awards. Exchange Club's been around here for over 50 years. We have over 60 members. We work with the prevention of child abuse. We work with the community. We work with Americanism, but one of the big things is youth. And thank you for your time. This is important because we need to recognize the kids that are doing a good job. Thanks.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate that. Now we'll move on to the first reading of the ordinance.
All right, ordinance number 312, an ordinance amending Title IV, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property, filed by petitioner Tim and Judy Seidschleg and Gerald and Kathy Goldade to rezone from agriculture preservation district to mini agriculture district.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 312? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move.
Motion by Dinger.
Second.
Second by Weiss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All right, ordinance number 313, an ordinance amending Title IV, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property, filed by petitioner Sub 30 Ventures LLC, Brett Dybert and Brock Ball, to rezone from agriculture preservation district to lakefront residential district.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 313? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move.
Motion by Dennert, second by Weiss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All right. Ordinance number 314, an ordinance amending Title IV, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property, filed by petitioner Michael Carroll to rezone from agriculture preservation district to lakefront residential district.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 314? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance number 315, an ordinance amending Title IV, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property, filed by petitioner Vision Quest Real Estate LLC and Brad Meehan, to rezone from agriculture preservation district to mini agriculture district.
Okay, anyone here to speak to ordinance 315? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Dennert. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance number 316, an ordinance amending Title IV, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property, filed by petitioner C. Atwood to rezone from agriculture preservation district to highway commercial district.
Is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 316? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move. Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Gage. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance number 317, an ordinance amending Title IV, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property, filed by petitioner Paul Larson to rezone from agriculture preservation district to mini agriculture district.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 317? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dennert, second by Weiss. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, next up, Scott Mines, Emergency Management Director, to discuss McPherson County Emergency Management. Good morning, Scott.
Morning. What are you, moving?
Good try.
Couple
Just died.
couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
I was approached by McPherson County to write a possible contract to take on their emergency management duties. So I'm here today to see what your thoughts are on that, and looking for some advice for if we proceed or not, you know, and yeah. So I did go up and meet with their commissioners at their monthly meeting. They really didn't have a whole lot to say. They're just kind of looking. They don't have anybody to fulfill their position up there, which is required by law.
So they're looking at doing a combined type of, or a contract or something to move that forward. I told them that there are 3 counties or 3 other jurisdictions in the state that are doing a sharing program or a contracting program. I have got some copies of a little bit of their paperwork, but there's really not a whole lot out there. It just says that they would, take on their duties, and some of them spell out how many hours they'll put up in that county and things like that. So, like I said, I'm just here to see kind of what your thoughts are, if we should proceed, or we want to leave things alone.
Do you feel it's something you can handle?
It would be a little bit of a stretch. There's not much, obviously the population in McPherson County is, pretty small. The thing that worries me is the square miles. I mean, it's a long ways to the other side of Eureka from here. I did mention to their folks that, we would maybe have to have a deputy up there, or somebody that could respond to the immediate needs, such as a fire or, something like that. And we would take care of more of the administrative side. They were kind of open. Like I said, they really didn't have a whole lot to say when I was up there. So I think it's probably doable. It would take some work. Their plans and stuff. I've met with the sheriff up there. Currently takes care of that. Their EM duties up there. It sounds like most of their plans and things like that, their PDM plans and hazmat plans and stuff are up to date. So it wouldn't, take a whole lot, but, assisting them with some disaster stuff that needs to be done, hasn't been done. The crisis track stuff hasn't been done. So, if you get out meeting with the cities would be the biggest thing right away. But I'm kind of torn both ways. I think it'd probably be something good. I know there's been a lot of talk, across the state about combining some of these agencies. But again, I worry that that's a long ways. I can be a Leola in half an hour, but I can't be in Eureka, or beyond. That's the only thing that kind of worries me. So.
Do you know if they've had any other conversations with other counties, like Edmonds or
They did have a conversation with Edmonds. I know Tracy in Edmonds County was interested, and he since has taken on a new full-time job, I believe, was some of the conversation that I heard that, probably wasn't interested. So the other would be, Walworth and Campbell. The Mobridge EM already helps out with some of the reservation stuff, so I don't know if they would, maybe be interested in taking the west half or something. I don't know. Like I said, we haven't gone down that path or anything like that. So
the other 3 jurisdictions that you mentioned, have you visited with them? Is it a similar situation where you've got maybe a bigger geographical county versus a smaller one?
So
how closely related are they?
Right. So Han County takes on Buffalo County, is one of them, but that's only a third of Buffalo County because the rest is reservation land.
Okay.
Hughes County does for Stanley County. They have for many years, which comparable. It's pretty comparable. And then Turner County has just taken on Hutchinson County, which is population and square miles and stuff like that is pretty comparable. So, like I said, I don't think it's probably nothing that's, not doable or we could handle. Like I said, I just have the reservation of the response, if we would need to respond to something.
When you say a deputy up there, does that mean one of our deputies or one of their deputies?
It would be a EM deputy, not necessarily a law enforcement deputy. Somebody that we would train or have some training to be able to respond to incidents on our behalf. Kind of like Patty does for us.
They've scoured their county, they can't find anybody to do it?
Apparently not, so.
A lot of guys up there that are pretty dedicated to their fire departments and volunteers and stuff, and surprised.
There's a lot of paperwork involved, though.
I think it, you know, I think it'd be something that we'd have to be up there at least once a week, probably, you know, at least to keep our face in the loop, and probably more at the beginning, to get to know some of these, you know, other agencies. So, yeah, like I said, I just wanted to get your thoughts if we should proceed with some type of contract and continue that conversation, or like I said, what your thoughts are.
Well, I've always been in favor of doing a certain amount of, you know, consolidating where we can for services, if it makes sense. First thing that comes to mind is obviously they're a smaller geographical county. They don't, for the most part, have a major river running through it that tends to cause a lot of our problems certain times of the year and so on. So on a scale, it would be probably less frequent that incidents would happen, so on a positive note, but it is added responsibility for you and Patty and...
Right. They are not an LEMPG county right now. I did talk to my state rep, Randy, and if we would go under contract, they would become an LEMPG county. So the same paperwork and financial status and stuff like that we do would also apply to them. So, you know, the auditor's office, you know, helps us out a lot with some of the, you know, financial stuff that we do our quarterly report with and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we'd have to take care of all that.
So we as Brown County would take care of that, not necessarily their auditor?
I think their auditor would probably have to be, you know, involved in that. Again, it depends on how we would work it. I think if we would do a contract type of thing and they paid the county a, you know, a lump sum for services, or if, you know, we did a shared type of thing, it all depends on where the finances would come from and stuff like that. And I'm just kind of speaking off the top of my head there. I don't know the rules quite yet, but...
Do you know what kind of financial arrangement they have, for instance, between Hughes and Stanley?
I do. Some of them are anywhere from $15,600 all the way up to $30,000. So, and I haven't talked anything about any of that kind of stuff yet. I do know that they had set a budget for their EM office up there. I looked through some of their minutes in McPherson County, and it was about $15,000. Obviously, you know, I don't want to take on a bunch of work for free, but
right.
or impede our county with funds, you know. So there'd have to be some type of financial obligation for those folks. But like I said, what that is, I haven't even discussed that, or I haven't even kind of looked at what other counties were doing and looked at population and square miles and stuff like that. So.
Well, I, for one, wouldn't be opposed to doing a little further research, letting you look into, or advising you to look into it a little further, and talk about the financial side of it and the added responsibilities on both us and them.
Okay.
To come into compliance.
Like I said, I did meet with them at their November meeting. I ran up there quick, and I told them that, you know, obviously I hadn't visited with you folks yet. That I needed to do that before we did anything, and they were okay with that and in agreement that I wanted to make sure you guys were on board.
I think there should be strong emphasis on trying to find a qualified deputy to serve in that county. That's a key part of it, I think.
I would like to visit with them also, because I find it hard that there's nobody up there now. Whether or not the financials and stuff are worth this person's time, I can't answer those questions, but I think they got some qualified people up there.
Right. You don't have any idea the hourly commitment per...
No.
There's no way to know.
You know, some of them, you know, Turner County goes to Hutchinson for 10 hours a week. Hughes County didn't say. Han Buffalo, they try to make, you know, a trip over there once a week at least. So like I said, I think that would probably be, at least at a minimum, that we'd have to be over there at least once a week. You know, depending on, again, what's going on in both places. Obviously, you know, our commitment would probably be here. you know, what happens if we can't get over there, are some of the things that we probably need to answer. You know, if we're in a huge flood, you know, we've seen it before where Brown, Marshall, Day, Spink are all affected. You know, who goes over there then?
Right.
You know, so,
The deputy would have to step
Yeah.
up, obviously, in
Yeah.
a situation like that.
so,
But communications are better when they work, you know.
yeah,
for
oh, absolutely.
marshaling resources and things like that, and there's some economies of scale if you come to, you know, an agreeable set of compensation or circumstances with that, because when you're doing reports, applications, grants, and, you know, all the rest of the kinds of things that you have to do, the training that you're talking about, you know, incidents with a new system and the rest of those kinds of things, it's just scaling, no different than you do with the ICS stuff.
Well, and
Whatever.
that's kind of what I mentioned when I was up there. I said, you know, even if you hire a part-time deputy, they're still gonna have to have some of the training that we're required. That's required by the LEMPG, you know, and FEMA under the federal side. You know, and if you're gonna do that, then, you know, just to continue on with your own employee, you know, and there wasn't an answer, so.
But I can see where that would be beneficial, because instead of having to try and go figure all that stuff out for themselves and participate in everything, they can get some direction from your office, which is already doing it.
Right.
To say, okay, here's the list of things that need to be done, and here's how you go about getting them, you know, whether it's training, certification, Zoom meetings, you know, the whole 9 yards, pushing it out.
Right.
And so it's more execution than just, you know, running around going, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Yeah, when you take that $15,000, spend 10 hours up there a week, that's $288 a week. I don't think they're gonna find anybody to do that job for $288 a week.
I'll just, yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Tell them closer to 30 with an escalator built into it.
And there, you know, there's some of the counties that are charging the contract fee plus mileage. You know, again, it would all, you know, kind of deem what we need to.
So do we know what they're getting back from the other resources for that office right now?
McPherson County?
Yeah.
They're getting nothing,
Okay.
because they're not participating in the LEMPG.
But if they were participating, there
If
would
they
be
were, there would be some type of
resource
financial,
flow.
and I haven't got those numbers yet. That's based off of population.
Sure.
And stuff like that, and or the time that the EM is, you know, if they're full-time, 50%, whatever, so,
Well, if you've got the time and desire to pursue it, I think there's a little bit more conversation that needs to be had, but I appreciate the heads up and the level of cooperation, like Chairman Sutton said. I think it's worth the effort, as long as it doesn't dilute your ability to be able to serve our citizens the way they need to be served.
and obviously, that would be, you know, my priority, to continue to take care of our folks, you know, and try to assist them. Like I said, to me, it's more of an administrative side,
Right.
or that's what I kind of foresee it as, just due to the distance. Now, whether or not that's what they're after or not, I guess they haven't really stated, so.
I would guess that most of your trips up there would be to Leola versus Eureka on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
But there may be times if something happens, you're gonna have to go farther, but
Right.
Leola would be the logical destination to
Yep.
handle the weekly trips, for example.
Yep. So I will, if you're okay with it, I will get another meeting scheduled up there and kind of see, well, that, you know, like I said, I've had a few conversations and have filled my knowledge a little better, and find out some of these other details like the LEMPG and what those funds would be that they're getting, and who that would go to, or how that all works with the state and stuff like that, so.
Tell them we said hi.
Absolutely.
I would like our minutes to reflect that we have given our emergency management director the advice to continue to pursue the possibility.
Okay. Okay. Appreciate
If
it.
anyone would make a motion to something to that effect.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss, to authorize our emergency management director to continue pursuing the possibility of a joint venture. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
I will, once I get some
contracts from those other folks, I will forward them out to you, and you can take a look at kind of what the details are and some of that stuff, and we'll kind of proceed, so, thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, Scott, you too.
Probably not gonna catch today's call.
What's that?
I probably won't catch today's.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, next up, Dirk Rogers. Good morning, Dirk.
Morning.
You're late.
I know.
What's the deal?
Okay, I got 3 right-of-ways. First one is from Midco. It's putting a new, cable service into that old hospital building out there on the curve by, across from Wiley.
The White Building?
Yeah, they're just coming from, the actual hookup is, the whole thing's like 200 feet, I think, from where there's a pedestal over here in front of the houses, and they're just running along the ditch and down in there. They have a new guy bringing in their, apps, so we'll have more information and a map in the next one. He was kind of scrambling around, but I don't see any problems with it. It's a very small area there, so I would recommend it.
Just gonna plow it in or what?
Yeah, it's just, it's actually for cable, cable TV, so they're just plow it in. I think it's only got 1.25 inch duct, so it's not gonna be much.
Second. Motion by Weiss, second by Dennert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion
The
carried.
meeting goes a lot smoother when you do it. I noticed.
It does?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You'll pay for that.
She's gone already.
You'll
Put that in the meeting.
You'll
Put
pay
that in
for
the
that.
minutes.
The superintendent noted.
That'll be in the minute. The next one is for Northern Valley. I misspoke, that one was for Midco, but this one's for Northern Valley. And I better do the, for full disclosure here, I gave them a verbal on this the other day because I got this, nobody's fault, and I don't want us to change meeting schedules. And had it been a different contractor other than Northern Valley, who we've been working with for 22 years since they've been expanding their service, I wouldn't have given them a verbal to go ahead. They subsequently went out and hit a water line yesterday, so that was, so much for trying to sneak this one past the goalie. But, everything, no further,
Whose water line did they?
the cities,
Oh, that's the one.
yes. So anyway, we're here after the fact. And this was, really short. It's going in, on 14 south of railroad tracks in front of Colors.
Okay.
And it was just coming from one side of the road, going up the ditch and going in the other side, so, I would posthumously recommend it for approval.
I drove around that one today.
Yeah, I don't do that. I used to do it more often, I have to admit, but I got to the point where most years, you guys have 51 meetings, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is a fluky year, and, Bobby came in because they figured you would have had the meeting on a Wednesday or Monday or something.
Right.
I'm not saying that you should do that. I think you have plenty of meetings, if you want my opinion, but you don't. But
Excuses.
anyway, I would recommend that one.
Move. Motion by Dennert, second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Gotcha.
Like I said, it doesn't happen too often on those. Look, the other one is overweight permits. 20 years ago, that was a different deal. Now you can't, people calling, oh my God, I'm stuck, I just need a quick verbal. Call the highway patrol and see if he'll give you a verbal, and then, this last one is on Road 11, up just immediately east of 281, and it's right behind the state right-of-way, and all they're doing, it's K&H Electric that's, just putting a new single-phase service, and they're just boring straight under, our road, and that's all they want, so I would recommend that one as well.
Move.
Motion by Weiss. Second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Couple things we're working on. Mowing, I'm sure, is a popular topic. We never get mowing right. Never. Mowing and striping.
You're not pushing snow.
I know. I'm
Yep.
very happy about that.
Yep.
Yes. So,
people's fields again?
Not too much. This side is not mowed yet.
That's where we are. Had we started down here, the line would be about right here, and I'd be saying this isn't mowed yet. So, just a couple comments on that. That's something that you always fail at, and I don't mean in the real sense, but it's just 100 phone calls every year. We even get calls doing top cut, which amazed me. The last one that shook me up is someone called you about us mowing when it was a drought. The only reason we mow top cut is because our insurance company tells us to mow top cut, and it's a wildlife thing. We've gone around a little bit even with Game and Fish about that on, the pheasant thing, which top cut isn't really the same as mowing it out for pheasant habitat, obviously, but, so the reason we do top cut is for insurance purposes, and honestly...
Liability.
Yeah, excuse me, liability, that's the word I was looking for, Mike. I see you have an award here for all your...
Careful which term.
I know, stuff, but, so, some years, if our staffing is a certain way, the outside guys or whoever's manning the outside shops, if we're doing something with the rest of the crew and we can have that guy, he'll just go with one more and mow out his whole corner. But that doesn't happen that way every year, so, it's not, I've tried to have a standard, I've tried to have, yep, we do it this way, and then the weather's different, or there's just something with a lot of variables. We mow till it snows, basically, mow until it's snowing, and then the boom mowers go around as long as they can still be productive, mostly in the sloughs. So, I don't know, we're going with as many guys, we probably started a little later, than when we do some other years, because we were still paving, and I got all kinds of excuses and stuff, but, that's just kinda, it's, nothing's weird, not that we're not trying, and we're not shorthanded or anything, it's just the way
Doesn't happen in a week.
Yep. So we're still mowing, and now we are also shouldering 27. We did that paving down there, so we're going through with our $2,000 strap back together shouldering machine that I'm pretty pleased about, but they're down working on that. I didn't come through there this morning, so I haven't seen how that's looking, but they've only been down there for 2 days. We were messing around on County 10 with a couple different road chemicals. I think in the early assessment, we definitely have a winner, the same one that we've used in the past, and then we're also trying a new one. But, you want to give it a little more time. The one area down on the south end of that 10 in the sloughs there, we got one area that either they got in a little hurry, it was the last mile they were doing, and it was kind of raining and crappy, so we'll see how that comes out. But the second mile into it is the one that might be a problem, but the rest of it looks pretty good. Looks really good. And we'll still be patching with cold mix. We can't get hot mix anymore. The last batch of hot mix they were making was expensive and really sticky. It was a little different kind of stuff, so we kind of moved away from that, but we'll still be going pretty hard with the cold mix. And if they're too big for cold mix, you might see some gravel out there in specific spots, but that'll just be because the, road completely came apart, and we intend to put it back together in the spring. November 6th, the wall was at 92 down from the top both sides, so it's at least getting down there a little ways. We're almost, 7.5 feet down or so, so yeah. That's about all I know.
Not us, but it appears that State 10 is open now.
That the what? Oh, yes. That will be helpful.
Yeah.
Fortunately or unfortunately, the bridge on Road 16 still's in place, I guess, so that was one comment I got about having both of them out at the same time, and I figured given our current chronology on the Road 16 bridge that it wasn't gonna be a problem, but they're still planning on taking that out as soon as they can in the spring, so hopefully the water will continue to go down.
We'll see.
It's getting better, but still, keep our fingers crossed. So.
There's no normal.
It doesn't go fast.
Oh, gosh.
You know how much snow we get.
Yep. Yeah, I was down, at Forestburg, And I was just like, man, there's still, I mean, again, you know, Forsberg, it'll frickin' get all sideways down there, but it's still a lot of water getting out of the way to get down there, you know, so. But other than that, I think we're just
One
gonna keep
last
moving.
on, I can't remember, it's 9 or 7 up there, just west of 37, where we got the barrels. It's, on the south side of it.
7.
9 or I think it's 7, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like a couple miles west of Highway 37, you know?
Yeah, on the gravel?
No, it's paved, it's one of the paved ones.
Okay.
Where it fell off, or I don't know if that crumbled under the road or something there, and we got the barrels around it.
Okay.
I was just wondering what the plan was there, they were wondering about, some people up there were asking.
I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. I'm trying to think of two things. We milled up some of that just the other day,
No.
last little bit.
This was just a fresh paving there. It was super nice, and then they have one spot that the shoulder and everything kind of gave way, and that's why it's got the barrels around it to drive around it. It's either,
20?
it's like,
South of Claremont?
no,
There.
west of
9 is
37.
the fresh.
It'd be
West of
9.
37.
Be 9 is the fresh.
Oh, that's
Fresh.
right, it's like 2 or 3 miles west of 37,
All right.
in the slough low spot, I know that, but.
When I step out for a minute, I'll call and ask, because I don't remember what that was. No, you're right, but
Yeah.
nobody's...
I know they're there, I've seen them with my own eyes. Well, not just over the phone. It's a spot, I was just curious, they were wondering what was,
What was
people up
the
there
deal?
had asked what, yeah, like what the future plan is, you know.
We'll leave it unsafe with a big hole in it.
No, it was one of, the
Keep your
comment.
muskrat for 'em.
The comment was, the road is in super good condition, and then you get something like that happen, you just can't have nice things, it never works out. So that was kind of they were
Okay, now
just
that
curious.
sounds more accurate.
Yeah, they were just curious.
Typical for the northeast part of the county.
Yeah, they said we got something really nice, and now it has to have that, so it was just.
No, I
but
know.
their ditches are mowed.
Yeah, I think they're above the line, so their ditches are... Let me, I will honestly call, because I'm gapping out on what that one is
No
specifically.
problem, just thought I'd ask.
That would be by, Kuski property right there on Highway 9, straight north of Randy Stanley's farm.
Mhm.
That's probably about 2 or 3 miles from Highway.
Is it over by the bridge?
No.
Well, we'll wrap up this little talk, and I'll find
I don't know if it's right.
More to follow.
Yeah, that's what you're doing, I think it's your
more.
morning.
You'll figure out exactly where it is.
Yep.
And what's going on. Necessary to put in bigger barrels.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll find out.
All right,
Cool?
cool. Any other questions for Dirk? Thank you for the update.
You betcha.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I will.
All right, moving on, approve and authorize chairman to sign the following.
Thank you very much.
First one is a lease option renewal for the Fairgrounds Hayland. It was in the packet. Did you all have a chance to review it? I think it's just in a continuation of an existing lease.
Second.
Motion by Weed, second by Dennert. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, ground lease for wireless tower at the fairgrounds. Rachel, did you have something you wanted to discuss on that one at all?
I don't know anything about it, so
Okay.
got the map late and you guys, it's good.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Dennert, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Hub City radio contract for the 2026 Brown County Fair.
Okay. Move.
Motion by Dinger. Second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All-season motorsport contract for the 26-27 Brown County Fairs.
Move.
Motion by Dinger.
Second.
Second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Before we do the last one, Dirk, do you have an update?
I do. It was some rat runs that got paved over, and then they collapsed when the water came up, and we since have milled it up, collapsed it all down, filled it back up with asphalt. So it should be repaired, we just haven't taken the barrels away, and Matt will be going up to get the barrels out of there shortly.
Okay.
Cool?
Thanks.
All right, that's the answer.
Thank you.
So much for the muskrat farm.
Yeah.
Falls up there right away. All right. final documents for the CDBG YMCA grant. Motion by Gage, second by Dennert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Moving on to the consent calendar.
Approval of general meeting minutes for November 4th, 2025.
Move. Motion by Dinger,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims payroll.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Dennert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move.
Second. Motion by Weiss, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Landfill tonnage report for October.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Dennert, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Travel requests.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Auditors report of accounts for September 2025.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Dennert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Any other business to come before the Brown County Commission this morning?
Did you wanna talk about fire alarm system?
We sure can. It's not on the agenda, but
And I don't think we need any motions, but we did have some meetings as far as the Odeon Expo and getting that fire alarm system. We've gotten 3 quotes. It'd be around 10 to 12,000 for the county side and about double that for the Odie side. So we'll proceed with that and try to find the best deal and.
Can I get copies of that? Did you ever have a meeting, this week with, okay.
We had one last week.
Monday, yeah.
With them?
But not about that. In fact, we probably should meet an exec sometime on that contract.
I agree.
Okay. Yeah, work is proceeding on that to get the fire alarms, smoke alarms updated,
So I think if we,
operable.
since it's that small for our side of it, we could probably just take the low quote. And just wanted to let you guys know that we are working on it and we've got 3 good bids, so.
We will be using county property that we currently own, that Judy has the controller box or the electrical box or whatever it is, so we will be using that. So, for the Holmes side.
The pricing for separating everything was gonna be way more than keeping it together and sharing the panel. So the thought was continue to share it, keep the same wiring, and just update all the devices in the panel. Was gonna be the cheaper option.
And with the upgrade, they will be able to isolate where the problem is versus now it's kinda wide open. They can zero in on where the problem is, where exactly the smoke or fire is coming from, so.
So we're going from just a zoned panel to an addressable panel.
Right.
And this panel is on our side or?
It'll be the same spot, because all the wiring goes in there, upstairs of the Odie and Judy's panel.
Sounds like emergency management.
The other thing I had was if we're getting ready to send out vendor contracts in January, American Legion would come back and do their Monday burger night. They liked the partnership and appreciated you guys. It was nice for them to know, okay, we've pre-sold X number. So if that's something you guys are up for again, they're definitely in too.
That was awesome having
I think it
them
worked
there.
out really well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'd say do that
I
again.
had a lot of good feedback on that.
Great. I will let them know.
All right. Anything else? All right. Again, we've had a request to go into exec for personnel, contracts, any legal updates?
Yeah, we can run through that.
Okay.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, motion carried, we are in exec. All right, the light's back on, we're back in session, out of exec with no action as a result. Is there anything else to come before the commission this morning?
Should we adjourn?
Motion by Weiss, second by Dennett to adjourn, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, motion carried, we are adjourned, thank you, everyone.